What if the biggest betrayal in raising Kenan isn't something that's about to happen? What if it's already happened? And Rack doesn't even realize it yet. 4 or 5 seasons. Rack Thomas has done everything in her power to shape Kenan into the man she wanted him to become. She protected him, manipulated him, lied to him, and pulled him deeper into the drug game, all while convincing herself it was for his own good. But episode 6 quietly reveals something that may be impossible to undo. Kenan isn't looking to Rack for guidance anymore. He's looking to Breeze. And if this trend continues, Rack may soon discover that she's no longer the most influential person in her son's life. Let's talk about why this could become the defining storyline of the season. One of the biggest changes in Season 5 is how Kenan carries himself around Rack. In earlier seasons, he constantly looked to her for approval. Even when they argued, there was still a sense that Rack was the center of his world. That feeling is fading. Now, when Rack gives advice, Kenan doesn't immediately accept it. He questions her motives. He thinks for himself. Sometimes he keeps his plans to himself altogether. That's a huge shift. It's not that Kenan hates his mother. It's that he's beginning to believe she doesn't always have the right answers. For someone like Kenan, who's trying to establish himself, that opens a door for someone else to step in. And that's exactly where Breeze comes in. Rack has always led through control. She believes every problem can be solved if she stays one step ahead. That approach helped her build an empire, but also damaged nearly every important relationship she had. Breeze is different. He doesn't constantly lecture Kenan. He doesn't try to control every move. Instead, he talks to Kenan like someone who's capable of making his own decisions. That difference matters. Whether Breeze is genuinely mentoring Kenan or simply earning his trust for his own reasons, Kenan feels respected around him. Sometimes respect is more powerful than fear. And that may be why Kenan is slowly drifting away from Rack. Here's the irony. If Kenan eventually chooses Breeze over Rack, Rack won't have anyone else to blame. For years, she kept secrets from Kenan. She manipulated situations behind his back. She decided what was best for him, without giving him the full picture. Each lie weakened the trust between them. Now that Kenan has another experienced figure willing to guide him, it's only natural that he would listen. Trust isn't lost all at once. It's lost little by little. Season 5 feels like the moment those years of damage are finally catching up to Rack. One thing episode 6 makes clear is that Breeze understands Kenan's mindset. He recognizes that Kenan doesn't want to be treated like a child anymore. He's ambitious. He's confident. He wants to build something of his own, instead of standing in his way. Breeze appears willing to let Kenan grow. That's a smart approach. Good mentors don't just give instructions. They allow people to learn from experience. Whether Breeze truly has Kenan's best interests at heart remains to be seen. But from Kenan's perspective, Breeze offers something Rack rarely has. Freedom. At first, it looked like Breeze and Kenan were simply working together because their interests aligned. Episode 6 suggests it's becoming more personal than that. Their conversations carry a different tone. There's mutual respect. There's patience. There's a willingness to listen. That's exactly how strong partnerships begin. If that continues, Kenan may eventually start seeing Breeze as more than a business partner. He may begin seeing him as family. And for Rack, that's a terrifying possibility. What's interesting is that Rack still believes she understands Kenan better than anyone. She believes she can predict how he'll react. She believes she'll always be able to pull him back if things get out of control. But Season 5 keeps showing moments where Kenan surprises her. He's becoming more independent. He's making decisions without consulting her. He's building relationships outside her influence. Those aren't random moments. They're warning signs. The problem is that Rack may not recognize them until it's too late. Now, here's where the theory becomes more complicated. I'm not convinced Breeze is intentionally trying to replace Rack. At least not yet. From what we've seen, Breeze seems focused on building smart partnerships and expanding his influence. If Kenan naturally gravitates toward him, Breeze may simply see an opportunity. That makes him even more dangerous. He's not forcing anything. He's allowing the relationship to develop on its own. Sometimes that's the strongest kind of influence. If this shift continues, I actually think Marvin could be one of the first people to notice it. Marvin understands family better than he often gets credit for. He's seen what happens when trust breaks down. If he starts realizing that Kenan is listening to Breeze more than Rack, he'll likely recognize the danger immediately. Whether he can stop it is another story. By then, Kenan may have already made up his mind. The Thomas family has survived because, despite all their disagreements, they've always remained connected. Rack, Marvin, and Kenan have fought countless battles together. But what happens when Kenan begins building a future that doesn't include Rack at the center? That changes everything. Suddenly, every decision becomes more complicated. Every alliance becomes uncertain. And every conversation carries the risk of creating another division within the family. One thing I appreciate about this storyline is that it isn't simply about rebellion. Kenan isn't pushing Rack away just to be difficult. He's growing up. He's reaching the stage where he wants to make his own decisions, even if those decisions come with serious consequences. That's a natural part of his journey. The tragedy is that Rack may interpret that independence as betrayal. From Kenan's perspective, he's trying to build his own identity. From Rack's perspective, she's losing her son. Both perspectives can be true at the same time. If Kenan continues following Breeze's guidance, I think we're heading toward a moment where Rack forces him to choose. Not necessarily with words, but through circumstances. Imagine a situation where Breeze and Rack want completely different things. Who does Kenan stand beside? That decision could become one of the defining moments of the season. Not because Kenan wants to hurt his mother, because he believes he's ready to lead his own life. So here's my prediction. Episode 6 isn't showing us the beginning of Kenan's relationship with Breeze. It's showing us the point where that relationship quietly becomes more influential than the one he has with Rack. The change isn't dramatic. It's happening through trust, through conversations, through shared goals, and through the simple fact that Breeze treats Kenan like someone capable of making his own choices. Rack spent years trying to prepare Kenan for this world. But in doing so, she also created someone who would eventually stop depending on her. If the rest of Season 5 continues in this direction, the biggest conflict won't be over territory or money. It will be over influence. Rack will fight to hold on to the son she spent years protecting. Breeze will continue offering Kenan the independence he's been searching for. And Kenan will find himself caught between the family that raised him and the mentor who makes him believe he can finally stand on his own. Whether Breeze truly has Kenan's best interests at heart remains an open question. But one thing feels increasingly clear after Episode 6. Kenan is no longer following Rack's path. He's beginning to walk his own. And if that path keeps leading back to Breeze, the Thomas family may soon face a conflict that's far more personal and far more painful than any street war they survived before.